Something about the ending of Paradise doesn't sit right, and if you've been paying close attention, you might have noticed it too. Because while everyone is busy focusing on the big emotional moments and shocking twists, the show quietly slips in a question that could completely change how we understand the story. Where exactly are Link and the rest of the survivors? At first, it almost feels like a detail the show simply moved past. But the deeper you look, the more it feels deliberate, like the writers are hiding something in plain sight. Before we dive into this mystery, though, spoiler warning. From this point forward, we're discussing major story details from recent episodes of Paradise, including character reveals, survivor movements, and some subtle clues that might hint at where the story is really heading. Now let's rewind for a moment. Throughout the series, the world of Paradise has felt strangely fragmented. Characters move through isolated locations, small groups form and dissolve, and the idea of survivors is always mentioned with this quiet sense of uncertainty. We know people are out there, but the show rarely lets us see the full picture. And that's where Link comes in. Link isn't just another survivor wandering through the chaos. He represents something more important, a bridge between the unknown and the possibility of hope. Every time the story brings him up, it's usually tied to the idea that somewhere out there there's a group trying to rebuild, trying to survive in a world that seems determined to fall apart. But the strange thing is, we never actually see where they are. Think about that for a second. In a show that's normally careful about geography and movement, Link's group exists almost entirely off-screen. We hear about them. Characters reference them. Their presence influences decisions. Yet the camera never fully follows them. And in storytelling, when something important happens off-screen, it's rarely accidental. It usually means the truth is being saved for later. If we step back and look at the bigger narrative pattern in Paradise, the writers seem obsessed with the idea of hidden spaces, places that exist just outside the characters' understanding, entire communities that remain invisible until the exact moment the story needs them. It's a recurring theme. Survival isn't just about endurance. It's about what you don't know is out there. And Link's group fits perfectly into that pattern. There are subtle hints that their location might be far more significant than it appears. Whenever the show references them, it's always with a certain level of distance. The characters talk about them like they're somewhere remote, somewhere difficult to reach. That could mean many things. Maybe they're in a protected zone. Maybe they're isolated by geography. Or maybe they've deliberately hidden themselves from the rest of the world. But there's another possibility that's even more interesting. What if Link's group isn't just surviving? What if they've discovered something? Think about the tone whenever their group is mentioned. It isn't purely desperate. There's often a subtle undercurrent of optimism, like the idea that their survival represents something bigger than just another cluster of people trying to stay alive. Almost as if they're connected to a different version of the future. That's what makes their absence from the main storyline so fascinating. Because if the show wanted them to simply be background survivors, it would have shown us by now. Instead, the writers keep them in the shadows, like a puzzle piece we're not meant to understand yet. And that raises a deeper narrative question. Stories like Paradise often revolve around the idea that the world we see is only part of the truth. Characters believe they understand their situation, but eventually the story reveals something larger, a hidden community, a secret plan, or an unexpected sanctuary. Link's group could be exactly that. Imagine if, somewhere beyond the chaos we've been watching, there's a place where survivors have managed to create something stable, something close to normal, a place that challenges everything the characters believe about the state of the world. If that's true, then Link's storyline isn't just about survival. It's about discovery. And the show might be quietly setting up a moment where that discovery collides with the main narrative. Another clue comes from the way the characters talk about reaching them. There's always uncertainty, always distance, almost like their location is deliberately hard to find. In survival stories, that usually means one of two things. Either the place is incredibly dangerous to reach, or it's intentionally hidden. Both possibilities are equally intriguing. If their location is dangerous, then it suggests the world outside the main storyline might be even worse than we thought. Entire regions could be uninhabitable, forcing survivor groups to carve out tiny pockets of safety in the most remote places imaginable. But if their location is hidden, then the mystery becomes much bigger, because hiding a group of survivors means protecting them from something. And we still don't fully understand what forces are shaping the world of Paradise. This is why the question, where are Link and his group, might actually be one of the most important mysteries in the entire show. It's not just about geography. It's about the future direction of the story. If the writers eventually reveal their location, it could redefine everything we think we know about the world. Maybe they're in a place the main characters never imagined. Maybe they've discovered resources that others believed were gone forever. Or maybe they've uncovered a truth about the world that changes the entire narrative. And the longer the show keeps them hidden, the more it feels like that reveal is going to matter. Because great storytelling thrives on patience. The longer a mystery lingers in the background, the more powerful it becomes when it finally steps into the spotlight. Link's group isn't forgotten. They're waiting. Waiting for the moment when their story finally intersects with the larger picture, and when it does, it might completely reshape what survival in paradise really means. But now I'm curious about something. Do you think Link and the survivors are hiding somewhere safe? Or do you think their location is connected to a much bigger secret the show hasn't revealed yet? Let me know your theories down in the comments, because honestly, some of the best insights always come from viewers who catch the details everyone else misses. And if you enjoy diving deep into hidden clues, story breakdowns, and the mysteries behind shows like Paradise, make sure you subscribe to the channel. There are a lot more secrets in this story that we still haven't uncovered, and when the next big reveal happens, you'll want to be here to see how all the pieces finally connect.